So this isn't a Canon hate video. In fact, I love Canon. As I said in my first video, I love the Canon 5D2, the 5D3, and I love the Mark IV. The X-T2 is just becoming one of my favorite tools in my bag. So if this isn't a Canon hate video, this is just saying, hey, there's an alternative out there. And if you're on the fringe, like, man, do I spend all the money and get the 5D4, or do I consider something like the X-T2 or a mirrorless system or something that's small? The X-T2 is honestly something to think about. Again, if you haven't seen my first video, go and watch that. I covered some things in that video that I'm not going to talk about here, so go watch that. It'll help fill in the gaps. So let's talk about media on both these cameras. Both these cameras shoot SD cards. Now, the Canon only shoots UHS-1, where the X-T2 actually has two UHS-2, say that 10 times fast, but it actually has two UHS-10, I can't say it. Has two compatible UHS-2 slots, which make for very fast SD storage. So the Canon actually rocks a CF card / SD card slot combo. So the CF cards are going to tend to be a little bit faster, especially in this scenario where UHS-1 is only available in that SD card slot on the Canon. Okay, so file format. So people harp on the X-T2 because it doesn't shoot anything but H.264, but really neither does the Canon. It shoots motion JPEG, MPEG-4, or it shoots as well as H.264, so there's not really a big difference there. Now, neither of these cameras shoot ProRes. With that said, if you're looking for a ProRes codec, maybe going to a Blackmagic system or something like that is more in your wheelhouse. If you're wanting to shoot quick social videos, if you're wanting to make documentary videos, if you're wanting to tell stories, these are more than capable cameras. I don't mind the H.264 codec. In fact, I like working with it. If I need ProRes, then I'll record externally where I'm able to get ProRes through an external recorder. So the X-T2 and the 5D4 both put out 4GB video files, and they're limited to 4GB video files, but there is a workaround for the Canon 5D4. You can actually format your card externally on a computer or another device and exFAT and allow you to shoot for longer periods of time. A lot of that's going to depend on the speed of your card. If your cards are faster, Canon won't break up those video files, but if you're shooting with slower cards, your files are going to get broke up. Again, the workaround is formatting your card in exFAT. The X-T2, on the other hand, is limited to 4GB files. You will be stitching those files together in Premiere. If that bothers you, then this system is a deal breaker. So one of the things that I was bummed about when I got the X-T2 was that it only shot 60 frames 1080 or 59 1080. That wasn't a deal breaker, but I was pretty bummed, to be honest. Now, after shooting the X-T2 and upscaling that 1080 footage to 4K, seriously, I'm blown away. So I went out for you guys early this morning and caught sunrise, and I wanted to show off the ability to scale the X-T2's footage in 1080 60 to 4K. I also scaled the Canon footage in these clips, as you'll see. Check it out. All right, so the Fuji and the Canon actually shoot a lot of the same frame rates, but the Canon does offer 720, 120 frame or 119 frames per second for that just awesome slow-mo. Now, I'm not really impressed with this footage. I did up-res it to 4K. There are some problems with it, but you saw that footage. All right, so I'm making my case for the X-T2. Seriously, like, it holds up pretty well. Now, one of the things with the X-T2 is that without the battery grip, it really is. Now, you can get good video without the battery grip, but if you're taking videography serious, if you're shooting documentaries, you almost have to have it. Otherwise, you're limited to only 10 minutes of footage, and you don't get a headphone jack for built-in audio. Now, a lot of us are going to be using external recording devices. I understand that, but having built-in audio in the camera without the battery grip just should have been a thing, and it's not. So you need the battery grip. If you're shooting video, I would almost say the battery grip is a necessity. So the Canon actually gets a lot smaller when you're talking about shooting video, is in terms of you don't need the battery grip to monitor audio, and you don't need the battery grip to shoot for 30 minutes. You can actually just take the body itself, throw a lens on it, and get those same features without having to buy a battery grip. So as far as size goes, you almost need the battery grip to compete with the Canon 5D4 right out of the box. So even with the battery grip, the X-T2 is still smaller and lighter, but the Canon 5D4 does get a lot smaller without the battery grip, so that's something to think about. As of right now, if I had to pick one system, I would choose the X-T2. And again, it comes down to cost. It comes down to what I'm wanting out of a camera. That's not saying that the 5D4 isn't a capable cinematography tool. It's more than capable. In fact, it might be more capable than the X-T2. But I like the idea that I can have two X-T2 bodies and rig them up for pretty inexpensive. Okay, so I am gonna have a part 3 to this. In that video, I'm just gonna be showing you guys more files from both these systems, and hopefully it helps you come to a better conclusion. Thank you so much to all my new subscribers. Seriously, guys, I appreciate you. It keeps me wanting to make these videos, so thank you. You're awesome. Subscribe, new content coming out. Peace.